Today, more than 8 billion people live on Earth, and all of us belong to one species, Homo sapiens. But if you go back about 50,000 to 100,000 years, the world looked very different. There was not just one kind of human, there were several. In Europe and parts of Asia lived Neanderthals, strong, cold-adapted humans who hunted large animals and survived Ice Age winters. In Asia, especially Siberia, lived the Denisovans, known mostly from DNA and a few fossils, but clearly a separate human group. In Indonesia, on the island of Flores, lived Homo floresiensis, a very small human, often called the Hobbit. In the Philippines, there was Homo luzonensis, another small-bodied human species. And in Africa, Homo sapiens was developing and slowly spreading outward. So the world was not just humans and animals. It was a world of different human species living at the same time. Today, only one of them remains. So what happened? Did Homo sapiens destroy the others in a big war? Probably not. The real story is slower, smaller, and more complicated. First, it is important to clear a mistake. The other human species were not dumb or primitive. Neanderthals made sharp stone tools, controlled fire, built shelters, and wore clothing. They hunted dangerous animals like mammoths and giant deer. They also cared for injured and sick members of their group. Some individuals lived for years even after serious injuries, meaning others helped them survive. They also used pigments and possibly ornaments, which may suggest early symbolic thinking. Their brains were as large as ours, sometimes even larger. Denisovans are harder to study, but DNA shows they were closely related to Neanderthals and also interbred with them and with Homo sapiens. Homo floresiensis and Homo luzonensis were smaller, but they survived for thousands of years in island environments, which is not easy. So the idea that we were smart and they were not does not explain anything. All of them were capable humans. One of the biggest differences was not intelligence. It was population size and connection. Many of the other human species lived in small, scattered groups. Imagine a group of 20 to 30 people. If a few hunters die or a few children get sick, the group is in serious trouble. A skill can disappear completely if the only person who knows it dies. Now imagine a different situation. A group is connected to many other groups nearby. If food is low, they can move or share resources. If someone dies, others still know the same skills. If a new idea appears, it can spread to other groups. Homo sapiens seems to have built larger social networks than the other human species. We were more connected over long distances. This created something very important: backup. Not one group had to survive alone. Because groups were connected, ideas could spread. One group might discover a better stone tool. Another might learn how to sew warmer clothing. Another might find better hunting routes. Instead of staying in one place, these ideas moved between groups. This means culture became like a shared memory. No single person had to reinvent everything. The group learned together. This made Homo sapiens more flexible over time. All human species lived through changing climates. Ice ages came and went. Forests turned into grasslands. Animals moved or disappeared. Neanderthals survived many cold periods, so climate alone did not suddenly wipe them out. But small populations are very sensitive to change. A bad season could mean hunger. A failed hunt could weaken a whole group. A local disaster could remove an entire population. Scientists have not found one single climate event that explains everything. So climate was part of the story, but not the only reason. There was no single final battle. Instead, there was slow competition. Groups needed the same resources: water, animals to hunt, safe caves, good stone for tools. When Homo sapiens entered new areas, they did not need to win in a fight. Even small advantages in numbers mattered. If one group left, another could move in. Over time, this repeated again and again. A Neanderthal camp might become a Homo sapiens camp. Then another. Then another. A 2017 study suggested that repeated migration alone could slowly replace smaller populations over time. So the key idea is simple. They did not need to defeat others, they just needed to keep spreading. The story is not only about replacement, it is also about mixing. When Homo sapiens met Neanderthals and Denisovans, they sometimes had children together. Today, many people outside Africa carry about 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA. Some populations also carry Denisovan DNA. This means the other human species did not completely vanish. They became part of us. Their genes still live in modern humans today. So in a way, extinction was not always total. It was also absorption. For Homo floresiensis and Homo luzonensis, the story is less clear. They lived on islands, which means small populations and limited space. Island life can be stable for a long time, but it is also fragile. A storm, a disease, or a change in food sources can have a big impact. Homo sapiens reached Southeast Asia around the same general time these species existed, but we do not have enough evidence to say exactly what happened. They may have disappeared due to competition, environment changes, or simple chance. The truth is, we do not fully know. There is no single answer to why other human species disappeared. It was not one event. It was many things together. Small population sizes, changing climates, competition for resources, migration of Homo sapiens, mixing between groups, random chance. Human evolution was not a clean competition. It was messy and slow. Homo sapiens likely survived because of one main advantage: stronger connections between groups. We shared knowledge more widely. We moved more often. We rebuilt populations after disasters. We formed larger networks of cooperation. This did not make us perfect. It just made us more flexible. Each human species had strengths. Neanderthals were strong and adapted to cold climates. Denisovans lived across large parts of Asia. Homo floresiensis survived on a difficult island environment. Homo luzonensis adapted to island life in the Philippines. They were not mistakes. They were different solutions to survival. So why are we the only human species left? Not because we were the best, not because we won a final battle, but because our groups were larger, our networks were wider, our ideas spread faster, and we sometimes mixed with other humans. Over time, small advantages added up, and instead of many human species living side by side, only one remained. But even that is not the full truth, because parts of those other humans still live inside us. The human story is not about one species defeating all others. It is about many human species living, adapting, mixing, and slowly changing the world together. Today we are the last surviving human species, but we are also the result of many ancient human worlds combined into one.